So I did a really long 30-minute rambling video about being in the progressed moon in Scorpio, the second one in my life, and I thought I might try again and do one that's a little bit less just self-indulgent, I guess. I don't know. And try and get it all down into, I don't know, should I give myself 10 minutes, 5 minutes if I can? The wisdom of a Scorpio and a Scorpio progressed moon. This is my second one I'm in, and I've been in it for 8 months. I've got 18 more months to get through, so wish me luck. I might do more videos because it's quite a long time to get through it. Yeah, just the common sort of like wisdom of both the ones I've been through so far. And so the first one I went through was in my early 20s. I am a Scorpio sun, stellium Scorpio, so apparently that makes it slightly easier to navigate this quite difficult energy of transformation on a daily, which my astrologer said was the hardest sign to be. Which, having not been another sign, I don't know, but I'm really grateful for my other placements that are a little lighter around me to enable me to go into those depths. The Leo rising and the Equimoon, Aries, Stellium, Saggy, Gemini placements, yeah, they all help me out. And just like, it's all like quite good for art making to be Scorpio. And you can't lie to a Scorpio. Yeah, you can't bullshit one unless they're bullshitting themselves. So yeah, when I was early 20s, I went through my first one, and I was at university doing sociology, and I transitioned to dance school in my progressed moon in Scorpio, which was one of a few major turning points in my life. And I was quite depressed at university, and I was really confused about what the fuck I was going to do, as you are when you're doing a BA in a world that doesn't really value knowledge and depth. And yeah, but I was ultimately always very creative aside from being academic, and I had a snowboarding accident. Always said it took a bump to the head to go to dance school, but there I was, and I got in, having never done contemporary dance before, like a complete tin-ass, but I had done ballet and was a hip-hop dancer and talked about my ass to get to the school, and I have had a really amazing 20 odd years in my career. And I do believe that this massive transformation was because of the Scorpio progressed moon. I was really depressed at dance school for the first year and a half. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing there, and then eventually, possibly when it shifted to Sagittarius, I loved it, and I didn't look back. And I became like an interdisciplinary performance artist, more radical when I left dance school, and integrated film and writing. I went on to do a master's in film later and MPhil, but I also met someone that I was with during that period, like romantically, who was the healthiest relationship I would say I've ever had in my life for 3 years. And when I came out of dance school, we ended up breaking up, but I think there's no coincidence that this time I've also met somebody in this phase who seems very healthy and more compatible and complementary to my life than previous people. They were both Libras, which is interesting. My ex is also Libra. I have a thing with Libra, obviously. I do have a few Libra placements, but yeah, so this Scorpio progressed moon, I'm trying to demystify the terror of Scorpio, because apparently it's one of the most misunderstood signs, if not the most misunderstood, along with Gemini, that my astrologer says get both really reduced into being just some cartoon version of themselves, which, you know, she says is fine for the other signs, but these two are actually quite complex. So, yeah, it's a very deep sign. And I mean, obviously, a mean, nasty Scorpio is not someone you'd really ever want to encounter. But it has some really, it's a highly sensitive, intuitive, deep, honest, truthful, authentic, transformative, shamanistic, passionate, investigative energy. So the progressed moon, which rules the emotions, is in my second house this time. So that's what you value. It can also be finances. And more superficially, it's considered finances. But the main thing I feel that is the wisdom of Scorpio and in general is with the progressed moon is being vulnerable, and to really lean into the vulnerability and the truth and what it is that you really value and who you really are. Because I've had a series of, like, on the back of just a horror show the last 5 years, moving back from Berlin to New Zealand into lockdowns, leaving my ex, heartbroken, disorientated, culture shocked, into tall poppy syndrome and total pandemic confusion, borders closing, the city being locked down for months. Just like having my industry torn to shreds. And just really isolated on the back of all of that. And I've been back to the US the last 2 years on and off to New York. I have decided in this last year that I'm going to move to New York. And it's going to be one of the biggest transitions of my life as well. And I always say moving to Berlin was one of the best things I could have ever done for myself. And once again, in this period, it's a very brave, very vulnerable thing to do, but it feels like the right thing to do. And the person I've met is also there. And the things that have happened to me since that in the last 8 months since I've been in progressed moon in Scorpio is I've had 3 friends take their lives, all in New Zealand. The last one was 2.5 months ago on the Scorpio full moon. They left behind a 14-year-old son, which is the most devastating thing and saddest thing I've ever seen with my own eyes in this lifetime. They all had mental health issues, clearly, and I was disabled from Facebook shortly after coming back from Berlin, having gone there last year for the first time in 4 years to see whether I wanted to move back there or to New York. But visa is out for me there. I got ghosted by somebody on my birthday that I was dating, who was younger than me and who lost his own job on my birthday from a drug test. Full baby vibes. So that was probably a blessing in disguise. My goodness. Got disabled from Facebook shortly after that, after being hacked and disabled. 4,000 contacts gone. I've had some just kind of series of quite challenging things happen when I returned to New Zealand, but I did have the best summer I've had in years after the pandemic and Auckland's floods that displaced like 10,000 people last year. It's a city that's been in depression, but this year's been good. It's been a good year, and I applied for a PhD at Auckland University because I got cold feet about applying for an O1 visa in the US last year when I got back, even though I started applying for it. And they both got delayed, so like the uni deferred this year, and then I got a show in New York and I went there with some funding and it was amazing, and I met the person and I was just like, but I'd already got the visa in motion in April during the eclipse season. I had a healing and with a psychic who said Alexa, you just need to move to New York. This is your place. You've been wanting to go there for 10 years. And I have a lot of contacts there. I feel at home there. I feel it's like the place that I've built the best relationship with. I have a good relationship with the city, with the art scene, with love, with friends. And anyway, so I will get that visa in the next week and move to New York. And even though I got the PhD scholarship, the university said no to being remote, and it was a big shift in my finances. And I've been offered money for this festival here as well. So money is coming in my progressed moon Scorpio in the second house of what I value in finances, and I've had to really question what is it that I want to do, who am I, what do I value, what is my truth, what am I actually interested in this massive transformation in my life and also in the world right now. So I'll probably enter into the most chaotic time in US history, having been in Europe during chaos pre-pandemic and New Zealand in lockdowns, and I'm no stranger to this kind of Plutonian Uranus energy of massive transformation. So, but I think the main thing is that I'm actually just more honest with myself and more in my power and more grounded and just being truthful about who I want to be and where I want to be and who I want to be with, and that the PhD, giving it up even though it seems maybe insane in a recession climate to do that, because it's a scholarship, could be a trap, and to follow your values and your truth and your heart. And my art practice has been really strengthened the last 2 years from all the things I've been through. I've just been super brave coming through the other side. I've made these powerful works that people have responded to also in New York. And I'm thriving in my art practice at the moment. So I've just trained in yin yoga, and I'm going to go to New York and work. And I think being more open and vulnerable and is a genuine process that isn't just something that you talk about or that you use to manipulate, which I've seen other people do so much. It's disturbing. I've often been someone with the heart on the sleeve, but in a way where I've had to learn a lot about boundaries, and but I'm certainly not someone who is running to the suburbs of Auckland. They're not calling me. No disrespect. It's just not my vibe. We're all different. We all need to choose what we need to choose for ourselves. And I've come through a lot. And when you genuinely connect with other people, they feel you, and it's I think the vulnerability and the openness and connection is reaching people's hearts in love and in art and in friendships, and anything that falls away. And I lost my cat the last 2 weeks as well, and my friendship group. That was a drinking coping strategy, so it's actually good that it's gone, because I've exited that phase of my life now. It helped me get through a lot of isolation, but I now need to I can really only be connecting with real genuine friends and people, and I feel I really get on quite well with people in New York. They're deep and they're fun and they're authentic, but and they can be quite intense, and I'm chill with all that. But yeah, I lost my cat, and that was another thing. It's just you're in this kind of intense energy, this Scorpio, progressed mode. It's there is suffering there, but as a Scorpio, it's the drill, and the trauma is just helping you heal, facing stuff and moving through it and releasing and having compassion and love for yourself through these processes. I make it sound really easy, but it's not. And the guy I dated who ghosted me on my birthday said, when we were doing some cards and some vulnerable, and I said something about vulnerability, and he goes, yeah, but you say it with power. And I think people forget that when you because I think a Scorpio can seem quite cold or like calm or like, but still waters run deep, and it's a very sensitive, compassionate sign with a lot of love and heart. So, and deeply sort of like, because love heals everything. Yeah, just people forget that you also can be, you're sensitive and you hurt, and even if you're strong, you know, because I am incredibly resilient. It's one of the strengths of Scorpio. But yeah, allowing people to help you and being open to genuine exchange and connection is very deep and beautiful, and a synergy, and we want to build these connections and relationships with others. So I do think that there is a similarity between the two progressed moons of my 20s and now, and these massive transformations I'm going through and have been through in both of them, and the synchronicity of it both being attracting love also in that period, because I'm kind of more in my feelings, I think, than my head or my dreams and goals and plans. Stepping out into the unknown and following your heart, I guess maybe that's attractive as well, but yeah, there's an openness to it, and being present is hard as work in this world because things are pretty intense. But yeah, I just want people to feel like it's not a scary thing, not as scary as they think, to be in this progressed moon in Scorpio, and to just embrace it and embrace the transformative energies available. Otherwise it will just pass you by and you'll feel just like you've been victimized. But it's a chance to actually dive further into yourself and into what you value, what you dream of, what you are, who you are, and just release any like self-pitying victim narratives, because they're always available if you want them. Yeah, and connect with people that you love and things that you love, because that's what we're here to do.